Well, hello there, it's Walt, and look who's back.
It's Anne.
It's Anne.
It's Anne. Oh my God, how special. What a special treat.
It is a special treat. And we have been, for the last 7 weeks, in the Andes, down in the Lakes District of Argentina. And we've been doing a lot of climbing and hiking and trail running. And there have been some amazing lessons that we've learned. One of the lessons that you've learned is, I think, an important lesson to talk about.
Yeah, like I grew up so afraid that I was going to get off path, that there was one right path, and if I somehow got off of it, that I would be completely destroyed. So I was always looking for a guide, somebody who was going to show me the right path, because
the one
path. And I figured somebody else has got to know where the path is, because I sure as heck don't. So, it's amazing how this one path mentality travels with you.
There's only one right way, it's easy to say. And we've been doing a loop high in the mountains here on Saturdays. It's about a 17 or 18 mile loop, and there are markings here and there, but in many places there aren't.
Right. The markings are, as Walt would call it, discreet, which means, you can't see them and you're looking everywhere for it. And you can see how if you step the wrong way, you could get into serious trouble. You could really injure yourself. You could fall and, dare I say, die. So you want to pay attention to where you're going. And sometimes I see Walt taking a different path, and I have to stand and analyze. Can I go the same path that he just went? Is that the right way for me? His legs are longer. He's got, more ability to deal with exposure than I do. So I have to choose. Should I take a slightly different path and meet up with him, or should I follow him because he knows better somehow? But a lot of times I'll follow you, and it's not the right move for me.
For you.
For me, it's not the right move for me, probably because of my short legs.
Well, and you discovered yesterday that, even if you took a different path, and even if it was easier or harder, it didn't really matter, that there was no one right path. And
yeah, so I see this all the time in my business with people who write stories and they're creating books. And there's always this struggle. Do I put this story in this chapter? Do I put it in that chapter? Should I move the chapters around? And they're so afraid that they're not going to get the right they're not going to do it the right way.
The right way.
And I'm like, there's so many ways we could organize this. This story could go in this chapter or that. Let's choose a goodish alternative. Let's just choose one that looks like it's a good choice, and we'll look at it and decide if it's not quite right, and then we'll make a different choice. So it's playing with the path. There is no one right structure. There is no one right place, one single place to place anything in a book.
If you make the wrong choice, if you choose the wrong path for you, if there is a right and wrong, you can go and choose again.
Yeah,
you get to choose again.
I go down and I'm like, you know what? I see it's easier for you, and I'm like, I'm going to backtrack and I'm going to follow him, because the way he just did it looks easier.
And you talk about book writing, and it's the same thing in business in general. Business is, we like to think about business as creative, as iterative. We get to wake up every single day and create, and there are lots of gurus who tell you have to do it this way in order to get the overnight success, and there is no one way. There are so many different ways, and it can be fun and it can be playful. I remember a couple of weeks ago when we were up on Mount Tronador, there had been no one up high in a long time. And so when we looked up from our high camp to try to scope out the route across the glaciers, there was no clear indication about what the right way was. And we picked our best line, and we went out that day, and we had just the most amazing day choosing our own path that day.
Right. There were objective hazards, by the way.
There were some objective
hazards by which to navigate, but
But it was great fun too, and really that's ultimately what we want, is to have of joy and playfulness in our book writing, in our business building, in our recreation, to go out and find our own way. And that would be the invitation to you to realize that there isn't any one way, there's your way, and you get to choose.
I think that's a great point.
Absolutely. Make it a great rest of the day, great rest of the week. Talk soon.
Bye, guys.